All right, welcome back. So in our last explainer, we kind of mapped out NVIDIA's huge new strategy. Well, today we're going to zoom in and look at the absolute cornerstone of that plan, a brand new family of AI models called Nemotron 3. And trust me, you're going to want to pay attention, because this isn't just another model release. This is the engine that NVIDIA is betting on to power the entire next generation of AI.
You've probably heard the buzz, right? The idea that these teams of AI agents are just around the corner, ready to automate everything from fixing your company's IT problems to accelerating scientific research. It's a pretty amazing future to think about. But if it's so close, what's the deal? What's the holdup? Why isn't this happening everywhere already?
Well, it really boils down to two classic problems: cost and speed. Just imagine a team of AI agents trying to solve something. They've got to constantly talk to each other, call different tools, and pass information back and forth. It's kind of like an office where every single email or Slack message between colleagues costs a few bucks and takes a few seconds to deliver. Now multiply that by millions of conversations a minute. The whole system would just grind to a halt. And that's exactly the bottleneck AI agents have been stuck in.
And that, right there, is what the industry calls the AI agent bottleneck. That critical back-and-forth communication, the very thing that's supposed to make AI teams so powerful, has actually been the anchor holding the whole idea back. And it's precisely that problem NVIDIA decided to tackle head-on. Which brings us to their solution. See, NVIDIA didn't just try to make another general-purpose chatbot that's okay at everything. No, they engineered the Nemotron 3 family from the ground up with one mission: to obliterate that efficiency problem. This is what you call purpose-built AI.
And here's the really cool part. Nemotron 3 isn't just one model. It's a specialized team. The best analogy is probably a Formula One pit crew. First, you've got Nano. It's small, incredibly fast, and cheap to run, perfect for handling thousands of simple tasks. Then you have Super, which acts as the crew chief, coordinating the whole workflow. And finally, you have Ultra. That's your heavyweight, the one you bring in for the really deep, complex thinking. Each one has a very specific job.
Okay, so how do they actually build this super efficient team? What's the secret sauce that makes it all work so well? Well, it all comes down to its unique architecture. This is the deep-down engineering that unlocks this whole new level of performance.
So let's break this down, because this is the heart of it. On the left, you've got your traditional models. Think of them as trying to use every single tool in your toolbox for every single task. It's powerful, sure, but super inefficient. Nemotron 3, on the other hand, is a smart hybrid. It combines three key things: Mamba, which is amazing at processing long streams of information really fast, transformers, for when you need that really precise, powerful reasoning, and a mixture of expert system, which is like a smart project manager that only activates the exact expert part of the AI that's needed for the job. It's a team of specialists versus one overworked generalist. And the result? You get incredible performance at a fraction of the cost.
And on top of all that, the Nemotron 3 models have a massive 1 million token context window. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, think of it as the AI's short-term memory. With this much memory, an agent can read an entire library of technical manuals or a decade's worth of financial reports, all in one go, without forgetting what it read on page 1. It's a huge leap in what these systems can comprehend.
Now, this next part is a really big deal in the AI world. NVIDIA released almost everything. We're talking the model weights, the training recipes, the datasets they used, the whole shebang. For a model this powerful, that level of openness is basically unheard of. And it's all part of their push for what they call sovereign AI, the idea that companies and even countries should be able to build and control their own AI, not just rented from a few big tech giants.
Okay, so enough with the technical specs. That's all great, but how does this team of AI agents actually get things done in the real world? Let's walk through a super practical example. Let's take a classic headache: IT help desk tickets. So a ticket comes in. First, the super fast and cheap Nano agent instantly reads it and figures out what kind of problem it is. Then it passes the baton to the super agent, who analyzes the problem and comes up with a step-by-step plan to fix it. That plan gets handed off to the big gun, Ultra, who actually uses software tools to execute the fix. And to close the loop, another Nano agent swoops in to verify the problem is solved and closes the ticket. It's a perfect, seamless, and incredibly efficient assembly line.
And what's so cool is that this isn't all happening in some mysterious black box. We can actually see the system thinking. This right here is an example of the internal thought process from that super agent. It's not just guessing, it's literally saying, okay, this error means an authentication failure. So my plan is to check the certificate, then query the database, then verify the software version.
That kind of structured, transparent thinking is an absolute game changer for building reliable automation.
So when you combine this level of performance with this open design, you start to see NVIDIA's bigger play here. They're not just trying to release another cool model, they're aiming to set a whole new standard for how this kind of agentic AI gets built, especially for the open source community.
And you don't just have to take my word for it. The numbers tell the story. Take a look at this chart. On the left, you've got your standard accuracy scores, and you can see Nemotron 3 Nano is right up there competing with the best of them. But now, look all the way to the right. That single bar is throughput. That's pure, raw speed. Nemotron isn't just accurate. It's delivering that top-tier accuracy 2 to 3 times faster than its rivals. That is the efficiency breakthrough.
This all feeds into this critical new concept, agentic performance. See, most models are judged on whether they can have a good conversation. This is a totally different benchmark. It's about how well AI can work in a team, plan ahead, manage complex workflows, and actually use tools to get things done. This is the new gold standard for AI in the real world. And clearly, this new approach is working. The industry is taking notice in a big way. We're already seeing massive players like Perplexity, ServiceNow, Palantir, and Accenture jumping on board, plugging Nemotron into their actual products and workflows. You know, when you see names like that adopt a technology this quickly, it's a huge vote of confidence.
So you might be wondering, okay, who is this actually for? Well, the powerhouse models, Super and Ultra, those are definitely for big enterprise and cloud setups. But here's the kicker, and this is my favorite part. Nemotron Nano is designed to run locally on a regular gaming PC with a decent RTX graphics card. Think about that. Nvidia is putting these incredibly advanced agentic tools directly into the hands of hobbyists, researchers, and individual developers everywhere.
Okay, so let's tie this all together and connect it back to the big picture. What does the launch of Nemotron 3 really tell us about NVIDIA's next chapter?
Here's the most important takeaway. Nemotron 3 is not just another product, it's a strategic pillar. It is the software engine that's been perfectly tuned to run on NVIDIA's hardware. They're not just selling chips anymore. They are selling the entire vertically integrated system, from the silicon all the way up to the AI's brain.
So, at the end of the day, by creating this purpose-built, open, and wildly efficient foundation, NVIDIA has essentially built a brand new kind of engine and handed the keys to the world. And that leaves us with just one question. What are we all going to build with it? Thanks for watching.